Mask mandates might be over, but for Adelaide woman Belle Owen, her mask's more important than ever.
I am particularly vulnerable to COVID because I have respiratory issues, because I live with physical disability and because of other health stuff going on. Every time I leave the house now, it's weighing up. Is this worth potentially this being a thing that I catch COVID for? I haven't eaten in a restaurant for years now, which is bizarre to me because that's something that I love to do.
She feels lately she's been forgotten.
When we were going through lockdowns, a lot of it was framed around like we should protect vulnerable people. But now, coming towards the end of the pandemic, those people are seen as collateral.
Ms Owen knows that South Australia's border couldn't stay closed forever, but she still wants a cautious government.
In Western Australia, caution is an approach that has worked well. WA was the last state in the country to open its borders to COVID. And while that decision has meant deaths from the virus have remained comparatively low, the consequences have been brutal for some. In the Kimberley, James Weeding and Jen Bird operate an outback tour business.
For the most part, most of Western Australia has done very well out of remaining closed. Obviously, our business, which relies on those interstate travellers, we suffered quite badly.
It's put a fair bit of stress on the family.
The WA border was supposed to open in February, but with Omicron running rife elsewhere, it was delayed until March.
A lot of people, they had booked with us for 2020, rebooked for 21, rebooked for 22, and really lost their confidence in travelling to WA as a result of that border delay. And it's going to be hard to win those people back, I guess.
Being the last state to open has brought with it other problems that they now need help solving.
As a seasonal business, we do employ a lot of backpackers.
Yeah, I think Western Australia's a little bit behind the East Coast. They've sort of jumped the gun a bit in grabbing the available labour force for a tourism season.
From the next federal government, the couple's also hoping for a longer-term plan for tourism. While international tourism suffered, closed borders saw many WA businesses riding high.
We're in the mining sector, so in actual fact, it was good for our company. The iron ore price was high, the economy was running strong.
When the pandemic hit, Mike Bonamelli's company in Perth was quick to snap up the government's asset write-offs.
Things are going really good with the new equipment that we have.
Things are so busy, he's employed 10 new staff, but it's still not enough.
I think we've had an ad running 3 months now, and we haven't had one person. I really need the government to have some incentive to fast forward international people coming here on some sort of visa and cutting the red tape to bring in the trades that we need.
The last 2 years have shown him what swift decision-making can do, and he wants to see more of that.
Back here in South Australia, it's been 5 months since the government went early and opened the border. Now, pretty much all restrictions have disappeared, but the decision to let the rest of the country and the virus back in has had a big impact. Ali Lucia's built her career delivering positive change for her clients, but the past few months have seen more changes than she'd like.
Sometimes you'll get a message, an hour before a client's meant to rock up being like, I've just been informed I'm a close contact, so I have to reschedule.
She's glad to see the end of strict close contact rules, as they affected not only her clients, but herself too.
It is really tricky considering obviously our day-to-day is looking after clients. We don't have office work we can do at home.
But she considers herself one of the lucky ones. She's kept her job and is taking on her first mortgage in a brand new home. With that her focus, she's ready to move past COVID, and it won't be a big factor in how she votes.
My main thing is just treating it like a cold. If you do get really sick, you seek help, you stay home, but not limit everyone else from doing their everyday job.
No matter where you are in Australia, the effects of COVID have been deep felt. And in politics too. Take the thumping victory of the state government in the West or the resounding defeat a year later in South Australia.
The question now is how the changes the pandemic has brought in people's lives will influence the way they think and feel and what they'll demand of their leaders now the virus is here to stay.
We're at the end of the beginning, or the beginning of the end. I do see that we're moving through the pandemic now.
In the last few months, it's been a tough thing for me with work, but I think we're on the end of COVID now, I think.
A strong economy is what everybody wants. And to fast track decision making, cut some of the red tape.
The less, I guess, precautions that are in place for other people, the more precautions that I have to take to protect myself.